Hey guys, so I'm finally getting around to do the full tour of my Sienna full-time home on wheels camper. And the focus of this camper is different than the other campers that I had because I had in mind a person that would actually live here full time. So it's going to have as much stuff as possible, and it's going to have clothes storage. And my previous campers, I wasn't big on storing clothes because it was just a weekend camper. But this one has a lot more storage space for someone that does want to potentially live full time in this camper. So let's take a look. All right, so let's first take a quick look around at the layout to see what it looks like. I think it's actually quite spacious. Room in the front. Got some storage on the top if you need some extra storage. Even a closet. Kitchen area. All right, let's give it the full tour. All right, so I do have a lot packed into this camper, so the tour is going to be a while. So let's look at all the details. First, okay, so under here there's my power system and some storage, light storage on top of the power system. This bed is a sliding bed, so I made it so that you can slide it back to access this area. So let's take a look at it. All right, right now I just have a few things, stored here, and we'll go over some of these things later. But you can see here's my power system. Let's give it a more detailed look. This is a 2000 watt pure sine wave inverter. It's a great inverter. It's been doing a great job. I have my solar MPPT controller right there. You can see it's working right now as we speak. And right here is a 200 amp hour lithium ion phosphate battery. It looks like this. But anyways, and also I do have another solar controller. So this one is charging my car battery. This one is charging this lithium ion phosphate battery. So I don't drive my camper that often, so I do need a good battery tender. So this does a good job of keeping my battery fresh. So this powers, my microwave, my induction stove, and everything. So it packs a punch. And of course, you could do some light storage on top of it. I wouldn't cover it too much. You want, some ventilation in that area. All right, so after that, we just put the bed back, and that's the way it looks. All right, so moving over, here is my bathroom area. Let's move this out again. And when I say bathroom area, I literally mean bath. Uh, this is a bathtub, and I did a video demoing the bathtub, and here's some clips from the video. What I did was I put a quick connect right here. It was just a straight tube, but now that I have a quick connect, I could take this out, and I put another quick connect on a tube with a spray. Okay, so now that we have this, I have a water dispenser. Okay, and of course that tube just goes right there. It rolls up and goes right there. Okay, so let's set it up, and I'll set it up with the backside open first so that you guys could see, and then we'll set it up on the inside. All right, so of course, when you're actually using it, the other curtain will be up, but we'll look at that from the other side first. Of course, I have my spray now, and I'm going to leave my clothes on. All right, and there you go. So it's not a super high water pressure, as you can see, but it will get you clean. But the nice thing is that it will conserve water. All right, it's complaining because I didn't put enough water, but let's put in some more water and we'll test it from the other side. All right, so this is from this side, and I didn't put up the Reflectex just because I needed some light, so it'll get too dark in here if I didn't do that. But here, this is the way it opens up, and you can see it covers up around, and this will close, and you can open up from this side too, of course. But so I'm gonna leave this side open this time, just so that you could see that even from here, there's still a decent amount of room for you to wash your hair or whatnot. I'm not going to take a shower, of course, but you could just see, spraying on here, no problem. So you'll be able to wash your hair and do whatever. Okay, so that's how I actually am able to shower here. Of course, we could lift this up, and that'll give you a little bit more room back here. But here, what I have mounted right here, believe it or not, is a toilet. So if you need to use number two, or maybe if you're a female and you need to use this style, here's the way to go. I've actually never ever used this once, and I don't plan to, but it's just here for an emergency. All right, so when it's not in use, I could just Velcro it back in place. And of course, you don't need this mount propped up. I just did it just so that you could see better. But also, under here, I have a little pad. And this pad is for us guys. So when we need to kneel down and do the things that we got to do, there's this option to use this pad so that I don't break my knees. But that's just Velcroed right here. And yes, there's kitty litter for that thing that I never planned to use. All right, so let's look at the drainage. So here I have the drain, and right now the sink is hooked up to it. But if you just take it out, or you could just leave it in, because there's enough gap that it'll still drain whether you want to do it or not. And when you're driving, I do have the drain plugged to that, so that there's no exhaust or anything coming in. Over here I have some storage that I have for like the toilet things, and here's the shower curtain where I store the shower curtain and the shower nozzle. Of course, that's the stool. Here's a little garage storage area that I call it. Not much of a garage, but anyways, it's got my axe and straps. Here is a jumper just in case I ever run out of batteries and I need to jump start my car. And it's also extra battery power if you need to charge your phone. And I have the charger to my sprayer down there also. All right, so that's a little storage area. And again, this sprayer I could actually take out also and use it as my water dispenser. So when I'm on a campsite or something, I could actually just remove it, or I could just leave it here. Here's a quick disconnect. So if I want to use that shower sprayer, or I want to leave it right here as it's connected to my sink, and we're going to see that in a little bit. But it works pretty easy. You just turn on the pump, and there you're ready to go, and you have water ready to go. We'll try that in a little bit. Up over here, paper towel holder. There's nothing fancy about that, but what is nice is that this is one of those compression ones, so you can see it's not turning freely, so when your car's vibrating, you don't have this roll coming down. And I know I need that because I've had the non-compression type, and after a long trip, you just got not toilet paper, you just have paper towels all the way down. Over here I have a battery monitor. This monitor is my battery. You can see I'm at 100%, 200 amp hour batteries, um, humidity, temperature, and a quick light switch. And this is a carbon monoxide detector. And over here is the remote switch for my power inverter, which is down here. You can see now that it's on right now because I just turned it on. So I don't have to crawl back here to turn it on and off. And anytime I want to use it, I just use this switch right here. It's real nice and easy. All right, so over here, into the legs of my counter, I built some spice racks, and you can see it's the gap is pretty much perfect for one of these spice racks or spice containers. And I have room for more for oils and things like that also. Coming up here, I have a mirror to make myself pretty in the morning. But you know, I look this pretty when I wake up. I don't have to do anything fancy. Okay, so here's my pantry, and surprisingly enough, there's quite a bit of room in the pantry, and there's room for a lot more stuff that I could pile in there. It's a lock and a handle to pull it out. Over here, I have my sink, and I really like this sink. Here's the faucet, cappuccino maker. Put that aside. But here's the sink. Look at that. Really nice deep sink, and I could also use it as storage. You saw I pulled some stuff out of there. But you could also use it as, storage. And when you need to use it, we're going to turn on this guy. And from there, we could just turn on the water here. And we have running water that's draining down out there. So that actually works fantastic. Turn it off, and the pump turns off. Okay, let's turn that off. And I also bought this dish rack right here. So if you did some dishes and you want to dry things off, you can use this dish rack. When it's not in use, it fits in there perfectly. And of course, here's the cap to the drain if you want to cap it. And when you're all done, it packs away really neatly. Oops, forgot my cappuccino maker or my espresso maker. Get that back in. So this countertop I made from an old desk that I got off Craigslist. Somebody was giving it out, so I cut it up and used the desk. Here is the sink basin. That's why there's no cabinets or anything there. You can see the way I have it. I made this space right here so that I would have plenty of room for my feet if I want to stretch out or anything like that. You can see there's a big gap underneath there, and that's on purpose. Yes, I could have put cabinets and things there, but I didn't want to be cramped up. I just wanted to be able to stretch out. And here's a microwave, so I build the cabinet around this microwave so it would fit perfectly. All right, so under here I have this shelf that I build for my induction stove. And because this is a full-time camper build, I wanted to not use too much fuel. So if you could harness some solar energy, recharge, and cook with your induction top, that would be more efficient than burning fuel all the time. And this actually works really great. It burns even more energy than the microwave does. That's why I need the 2000 watt inverter and the 200 amp hour battery. Here's the counter. More counter space, and this is just a Sterilite plastic drawer, which I also integrated into the design, so I didn't need to build drawers. I just bought plastic drawers, and I put some wallpaper things on top of it to make it a little bit prettier. And on this side of the countertop, I did basically the same things. Here's the legs of that table that I cut up, and in between the legs I just put these dividers right here so that I could store things like bug spray, fuel, sunblock and things like that. So that actually worked out really nice. And here, of course, I got my curtains if I want to quick privacy. This is for stealth situations. I do have the Reflectex that you guys saw earlier that goes over the window. But for the most part, this is so much more convenient than putting up Reflectex because you could put it in and out so quickly and easily. Over here, on the back of my seat. This is just like my previous camper build. I have my dirty laundry hamper, and you can see it sits away really nicely. These floors, these floors are leveled, so I had to raise the floor to level it. But because I raised it, there's a gap, and I didn't want to waste that gap, so I have some secret storage um, underneath my floors. And you can see I store electronic wires and stuff like that. There's a toolbox back there. So there's quite a bit of storage room even hidden underneath the floors. Okay, next up is the bed, and you already saw the bed sliding in and out in action. And this bed I also got free from Craigslist, and it's basically a bed that has storage drawers underneath. And I cut up the bed and cut it up to size, and I used the drawers that came with the bed, and I had to cut that up too to make my clothes storage. I don't actually have clothes in there right now. I have junk, but it's, since the concept is a full-time living camper, you need a lot of clothes storage and towels and stuff like that. So I definitely have drawers and space to store those things. I got a fire extinguisher right here handy. Hopefully I never need that. All right, so let's look at the bed. This bed is a futon bed. It's actually quite comfortable. I don't know how many inches this is, maybe 5 inches, but it's quite comfortable. Uh, and I built it again from that bed frame that I got free. And you can see here's the drawers that the bed frame came with. I integrated that into the design. I had to cut it up to make it fit. But you could store clothes, and I got some pots and pans in there. Let's look under here. This one is a little bit smaller because I didn't have the same amount of room, but still just as functional. Underneath, you can see I actually have it's on slats. It's on slats, but I have a piece of wood here, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to use this as my guest bedroom. We're going to see that a little bit later. All right, so here's the look at the other side, and what I have here is a little wing that I made on the bed. And the reason is that I wanted to save as much space as I can. I wanted room to move around. So this bed is not super wide or anything like that, but this wing will actually give me a little bit of extra space to open up my arms and my torso, and I'll demo that. So if I didn't have this wing, I would have to keep my body within the bed, which is okay. I could do it, but you can see because I have this, I could actually open up a little bit more. This is foam, so it's nice and soft. So I'm able to stretch out a little bit more. Otherwise, my arm would just be dangling over the bed. So this gives you a little bit extra room for a little bit of extra comfort. All right, so here's a look at the other end of the bed. So into the frame, this area for the wing that I have, I didn't want to waste this space either. And you could see there's actually a good amount of storage right now. It's completely empty. I haven't put anything in it yet, but there's a good amount of storage space. I mounted this DC power port here. So whenever let's say I'm sitting on the bed, need to charge my phone or something, I have a quick DC port just right here. Nice and easy, turns on and off. And yes, this side also has those quick privacy curtains. All right, so no home is complete without a closet. So I built a closet right here. And this closet is unique in that it's not stationary. I built it to slide in and out with this chair. And let me show you what I mean. So when somebody's sitting in the front seat, they need to pull the chair all the way back. And when nobody's sitting in the front seat, you're parked and you're camping, you could push the chair all the way up to give yourself a little more space like I have right now. But I'll show you how it works. So there, you can see it slides in and out with the chair. All the way up, all the way back. All right, so you know it's not a huge closet, but see the height is only so big. I didn't want to make it any bigger because it started to take too much room. So what I did for these hangers is the traditional hanger will look like this, and I bent the hanger so that the clothes would hang up a little bit higher. You could see, you know, the traditional and the bent hanger. So these are all bent so that the clothes hangs up higher. So if I didn't do that, you could see the clothes would start right here and they would really droop down. So I didn't want that. So there is room for a couple of shoes. And this foam I have back there is important for my guest bedroom, and I'm going to show you that in a little bit. But again, there's a decent amount of space for something storage that you need to hang up. You can put a jacket in here. There's still more room. I didn't pack it really tight. Okay, so moving up, I have this center console refrigerator right there. So I have my refrigerator. I have a power cord in there right there. But this refrigerator actually works really, really well. Sits nice and flat, so I had to remove the center console to accommodate this refrigerator, but I think it's an excellent replacement for the center console. The nice thing about the refrigerator up here is that it's not back there taking up space, precious space. So let's move up here. Okay, so up here I have another portable power system. So let's say if I'm at the campsite or something, I have a smaller power system that I could take and go to my campsite, and it fits right there. It's really nice and convenient. I have a CarPlay screen right here that I updated, and you can see it. It's nice and big. Let's take a look at that. This is not great, but here I have a great CarPlay screen that I could use to navigate and play music and all that kind of good stuff. All right, remember I told you I have a guest bedroom, and that guest bedroom is right here. And let me show you how to set that up. All right, so remember underneath my bed, I had a plank of wood, and that wood folds in half also, but I'm going to use that for my guest bedroom. Let's pull that out. All right, so here's that plank of wood. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lay it flat over the chairs like this. And remember the foam I had inside the closet. These pieces are key to help level the bed. Go like that, and one on the other side. You could already see it forming, and now I have a mattress that I bought that's a child's mattress that's going to fit this space just right. It's a youth twin mattress, and yes, it's inflatable. But this is for when you have a guest who's you know, not too tall, or if you're in a bind, it'll still work. I could sleep in it. All right, so you can see the bed, it's not too long so that it fits across, and it fits rather perfectly. Let's put a sheet over that and show you what it looks like. All right, so when you do have a guest, there's certainly no room back there for another person. The guest can sleep right here, and I'm 5'8". And you can see I'm going to be a little crunched if I try to sleep dead straight, but all I have to do is just turn a little bit, and I'm actually pretty close to being fully extended. I can't fully extend, but it's pretty close. And honestly, I sleep kind of like this anyway on my side. Of course, you could prop yourself up and relax a little bit just before you unwind and go to sleep. So this guest bedroom has some privacy too. Let me show you those curtains. So your guest not only has a bed of their own, they have a room of their own with a little bit of privacy. All right, last up on the tour is the rooftop, and you can see I have a 110 watt solar panel up there, and there's still plenty of storage inside this cage, which I have nothing in it except for that, which is my water shower container. Let me show you that real quick. All right, so I have a quick connect nozzle here that I just snap into place right there. And after that, you have a gravity fed shower. And this is the same setup as my previous camper build. So I'll show you a clip from that. Also, just gonna open that up. And you can see you have a outdoor shower, solar outdoor shower, because it's painted black, so it's gonna absorb some heat. Over here on this side of the rack is this canopy, and I did a video of that already, so let me show you a clip from that video. Okay, guys, so here's the mock-up in my driveway. So it's not the best place. I could do better angles, but I'd be on my neighbor's yard, and I really don't want to do that. So over here, this guy I just wrapped on my rear view mirror, and I think it looks pretty darn good. And there's a slight breeze in the air today, but it's not blowing really hard or anything like that, so you can't really see how well it's holding up, but it's actually very secure. All right, so every time I give a tour video, I always forget something, and hopefully I didn't forget too much this time. But this full-time home on wheels build, I think it has as much as you could put in a minivan. It doesn't have everything, but I don't have all the space. But I think for the amount of space, I was able to put a lot of stuff in here, and I think it's actually quite functional. You guys know what time it is now. It's Miller time.